Okay, so Sarah saw a solar eclipse in Ibiza. I took Sam onto an aircraft carrier and a nuclear submarine in New York City. And Jason, your children melted in St. Louis.
We got to the top of the arch, baby. We saw the top of the arch.
Was it good?
It was pretty good. People like the
Yeah.
arch. The kids really like the arch. Juniper was a little scared of the elevator. Griffin was very into the elevator. Uh,
Does it go sideways? Like, how does it?
well, that's what he's into because it's kind of an interesting piece of engineering because it like kind of hangs from a toggle and it goes like it rocks up because it has to go up a curve, right? So it goes up a
Uh-huh.
little bit and then it like curves and then it goes like this. It's a whole interesting story where they had like a design contest to figure out how to build an elevator that would go up the arch, and this like non-engineer came up with the solution, and it's worked for 60 years.
Wow.
Um, yeah, it's really interesting. And Griffin was
Amazing.
interested in it.
Amazing. And Sarah, how did the eclipse look? Did you feel like, were the kids into it?
The kids, so we have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. We didn't
A
want to
little
take any
young, yeah.
risks with the 2-year-old, so we
Uh-huh.
we put him in a crib with the iPad.
Okay.
And the 4-year-old was with us during the partial eclipse and then got really bored of the situation and then went with the 2-year-old in the crib with the iPad. So we
Okay.
were child-free for the totality.
Mhm.
Mm.
Um, I've never seen a total eclipse before. I don't know if you guys have. It was way cooler than
Yeah,
I could have ever imagined. I was really kind of skeptical and like, okay, yeah, this will be fine. This will be cool, but whatever. It was an emotional experience.
yeah.
Really?
I did not think I would feel emotional about it, but it
Wow.
felt like the heavens had descended on Earth. It was
Dang.
like, it's all an illusion, right? Like the fact that the moon is larger when it's closer to the horizon is an illusion. Same with the sun
Right.
and
Mhm.
whatever.
Totally.
Now, I don't know if they would all be like this, but because the eclipse was so soon before the sunset, it was very low in the sky. So it was huge.
Right,
When I look
Huh.
at it through my phone or like,
right.
we had drone footage, it doesn't look very big. But to the naked eye, it seemed huge. And so it just felt like the sky had descended, the celestial bodies had descended to Earth, and it was very
Wow.
emotional.
And this is in Ibiza, so it was like a Tiesto set was going off, or like what was happening?
No, we explored the other side of Ibiza, which we did not go to any clubs. We did not see
Okay.
Tiesto or Ray Dalio or whoever else might have been there.
Very cool. Well, we
Yeah.
we had a great time. We were in Nantucket briefly, which was pretty fun because I watched. We'll get to it in a Hatch News, but I watched Widow's Bay, so I had a new appreciation. I've never been to Nantucket or Cape Cod or Martha's Vineyard or the Hamptons or any of those places. So it was interesting to be there. But then we had a couple of days in New York, and April was working and doing podcasts and stuff. And I was just running around with Sam and getting to go on board the USS Intrepid, which is a World War II aircraft carrier. And then they also had the US's first nuclear submarine, the Growler. And it's just so cool to be walking through there. And the docent had been had worked the controls. He put Sam behind the seats, and he had worked the controls when he was 17 years old on the Growler, like in 1962 or something. So it was just incredible to hear stories and see what it was like. Very rad. Very cool.
Isn't there a space shuttle there or no?
There's the Enterprise,
Right.
which it turns out never went to space. The
Never flew,
Enterprise,
yeah.
no, I mean they just used it for the aerodynamics testing for the
Yeah.
landing portions.
An
Uh,
unfortunate naming choice for an aircraft
Yeah.
that never went to space.
Yeah, exactly. But so it was a lot of fun to check that, and we had a nice break, Jason. 2 weeks, just
It was
taking it all
great.
clean, having a
It
good
was
time.
great. I was into it.
Okay, good. Well, there's a lot of stuff that happened while we were gone, so I just want to do a quick lightning round across a few things, and I just want to start, Jason. Who won the Democratic Civil War? The Democratic Party Civil War.
Well, it's TBD, baby. We'll see which of these freaks gets elected. You know, it doesn't matter if you win a primary. You got to win the one where you actually get to take office.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. It occurred to me, when will people start declaring for 28? When does that?
January, immediately
Okay.
after the Congress seats.
Okay. Oh, really? That's it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a year out. It'll be a year out from the primaries, so that's you'll start seeing stuff in the beginning of 2027 for sure.
What's your expectation for who the main
There'll
contenders will
be
be?
8,700 people running for president.
But
It'll
like
be
the serious, like, the ones that will actually.
Gavin will declare.
Shapiro,
Yeah, Shapiro will declare.
Bashar,
Yeah, probably it's like
governors.
like all it's just gonna be everyone. Like I think it'll be old faces, new faces. Like it's gonna be 14,000 people running for president.
Is it telling that AOC broke up with her partner? Like, does that
No.
make her more likely or less likely?
I don't think that's related.
Not relevant.
Yeah, no, but it'll be a broad cross section, and someone will do like what you're seeing in these other Senate races, where someone will run for president, like sort of as an independent, or as like like I'm running on the Democratic ticket, but I'm not a Democrat. Or you'll see there's going to be
Every variation.
Yeah.
Every variation. Well, I do want to shout out for folks that have not listened to Ested's America Actually podcast. Is awesome, and he's just been covering this Democratic Civil War all year. And he had Hassan Piker on there again this week, and it was a really, really great and very fascinating interview. And Jason, my question is just over under, like, will it happen? Will Obama and Hassan Piker end up on stage together at some point, or is that going to be like will Hassan Piker be embraced? Will he be embraced by the establishment? Let's say that. Will people come around?
No, I mean, like, I don't think, I think it's a two-way thing. I think there's elements of the establishment of the Democratic Party that has serious problems with Hassan Piker and will not like sort of be like, yeah, this is our guy. I also think Hassan Piker has made it pretty clear that it's a non-goal for him to be embraced by the establishment of the Democratic Party. So I don't really think that particular rift is likely to be solved, but it's also a non-goal in my view. Like, for example, you will see probably both Hassan Piker and I would imagine, I don't have any inside information, but I would imagine Barack Obama contributing time to the Michigan Senate race. And so they're both going to be working on behalf of trying to secure a Democratic Senate. And so, yeah, I don't know. That means that they're going to, do a podcast together or some shit, but there's the goals aren't necessarily aligned in all cases. And like in some cases, there's every reason for those sides to kind of not want a healing of the rift. So I just don't think we should view that as a goal.
I just saw it was really fascinating at the very end of the interview. Hassan basically said the playbook for the establishment is to decry the left as really scary and completely unelectable, and then decry the right as these horrible monsters that you don't have any choice but to vote, and that they do that exclusively as opposed to actually evincing a vision that will address real people's problems and working to actually change that. And I thought that was true.
I think that's fine. And like, I think that's fine. And I think that voters deserve something better. And I like Ested's analysis of how like the center has failed, et cetera. I will say some of these freaks from the DSA are unelectable and as far as I can tell are running an op for
presidents of the DSA.
Yeah, I mean, like some of these people like couldn't get elected to a model Congress, let alone like United States Congress. And so like if your position is you cannot like say that murderers should be imprisoned and that like borders are more than like a fictitious construct, and like I mean like these are not electable positions. And like we will find out in some of these races whether or not voters are willing to go along. I am neither centrist nor leftist. I would like just to win, and I think that means different things in different places, and that's fine. But some of these positions are crazy. I mean, like, so, and the people representing them are terrible. And like, should not be entertained as like giving voters what they like, should not be looked at as like, oh, this is giving a voter something different. I was like, this is just bananas. So I don't know. I guess I'll be happy to play the role of centrist shill on this podcast for the duration of this electoral period, because they're getting a little lost in the sauce on that side. Maybe that shit works in Marin, but like, maybe y'all don't. I'm pretty sure y'all want prisons in Marin though. So
they took away our prison. We had one, and they took it away.
Yeah. I mean, we still have San Quentin. Still pretty strong. Like,
yeah,
it's not a prison anymore. It's a rehabilitation center
for justice impaired individuals.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't really looked at what that transformation has meant, but it is no longer a prison.
So I did talk to somebody at the pickleball court the other day who said that he went and played pickleball at San Quentin, and they had a program to go in there and do that and meet with inmates that carefully selected.
There were people protesting outside the Obama Presidential Center, DSA people protesting outside the Obama Presidential Center on behalf of Muammar Gaddafi. Like say like Barack Obama killed Gaddafi. Like, when will there be justice? I was like, bro,
okay, guys.
If you cannot denounce like sort of leftist dictators in central, like even with all of the throat clearing of the United States did terrible things in the hemisphere, yada yada yada, that's fine. But like, we don't need to be pro Castro. Like, we don't need to be pro Gaddafi.
Listen, we understand that Sauron has some challenges on some of his policies, but you have to understand it in the context of
he had full employment for all the Uruk-hai. Every Uruk-hai had a job.
Let's move on to AI. Sarah, every time you come here, like, it just feels like stuff's been going crazy. Last time you were here for Battlestar Galactica, this was kind of like a couple months into the post-AI psychosis Claude code. But now we've got swarms, we've got stuff breaking containment. We have, this Dario versus whoever, and then versus Sax weighing in. Like, I am still rooting for Dario and Anthropic broadly, just because it seems like they give a shit at all about safety, as opposed to OpenAI and Grok and others who just
breaking news. OpenAI said they're pausing model frontier. Like, the OpenAI basically is doing unilateral pause based on their announcements, like as of 2 hours ago. Like, they're like, yeah, we got the next one. Yeah. They're like, we got models, like, we're ready to go, but we can't. We're still having misalignment issues, so we're gonna hold. So I think the Hugging Face incident really was a wake up call for OpenAI and the whole industry, because it's just like, if you listen to the Black Hat like talk, if you read all the reports, it's like, look, these fucking bots, they're out of hand. They're trading secret messages and they're conspiring against us. We didn't know about it for weeks. And we found out when we were like, oh shit, like, did you maybe have an attack?
Are you seeing that, Sarah, as you guys are using AI in your development? Are you finding times where you're surprised, or are you finding times where the cost structure is different than what you were expecting? And how are you adjusting that with other models and all of that?
Yeah, we're not doing a ton in the security space. I had a tweet about this that was really underrated, in my opinion, which is
I love we give a secondary for an underrated tweet.
Which is in response to all of these bots being discovered doing malicious things. We were researching novel coronaviruses in Wuhan, and then lo and behold, what happened? And that's kind of exactly what's going on here. And of course they need to be, testing these agents to do, smart and intelligent things, but they're also providing instruction and testing them to do security testing and to do penetration testing and to find vulnerabilities. And when they find those vulnerabilities, they use them. And that's what happened, in this situation. Now, I think the fact that they were trading messages for weeks, unbeknownst to the human evaluators, is crazy. That literally is the plot of all of the doomsday sci-fi that we've been talking about. So it doesn't surprise me that there is, more caution being applied here. I don't see it day to day because I'm not really doing a ton in the security space. Um, there is, I do still feel like every once in a while, the agent will surprise me with what it has done. Like, I didn't tell it about a certain API key, and all of a sudden it starts hitting some service and uses an API key that it just found in a file. You know what I mean? Like things like that will just like happen sometimes,
Okay.
which is a little unexpected. But it hasn't. I haven't noticed anything, too, too malicious from my usage. What about you?
Well, sorry, one last question before you switch off. That is, what about doing different models, using some of the open weight models and things? Are you all tuning certain jobs to go towards lightweight models there, and from a cost savings perspective? And are
Yes.
Anthropic and OpenAI in trouble because of that?
We have been using more open source models for some of the workloads, some of the live pipeline workloads and the offline pipeline workloads that we have. So DeepSeek models and I believe Kimi in some cases. Does that mean trouble? I don't know. I think I don't use the open source models for my own programming. I'm not using that. I'm still using Claude Code. I recently started using ChatGPT for more stuff. I had actually uninstalled ChatGPT from my phone. From as a personal agent, I stopped using
Me
it.
too. Yep.
I primarily, believe it or not, use Gemini. I think Gemini always has the most accurate answers. So that's kind of where I've been going. And then for coding and work, I primarily use Claude. But I recently brought the ChatGPT app back into the mix, and I've actually been quite pleased with 5.6 Soul and how that one is performing. And I'm glad that I did, because you just get stuck in your ways, and then you don't, you're like, oh, I don't want to try something new right now. I'm too busy. But you miss out on things when you do that. So I'm actually glad that I opened that back up and tried some stuff there, because it's actually very good.
I'm pretty much Claude exclusive, except for when I need a jokey image for the Discord. I have to use Grok, because Grok is the only one that's all the rest of them are such fucking narcs. Like they're just like I had one today, I was joking about how it was the summer of Jason, and I wanted to have it say so I found I was like, oh, it's my so-called summer, because Matt really picked all the movies and all the guests. And as I was I got an image from my so-called life. I was like, oh, just change this to, I didn't bother to ask fucking Claude, because I know that was gonna offend it to no end. So, but I had been using Gemini for this, and Gemini was like, oh, there's a real person in this. I can't do it. I was like, I don't want you to touch the person. You don't need to touch Claire Danes. Just change where it says life, change that to summer, keep the font. And it said, okay. And then it just generated a random image of a girl with a sign that said summer, had nothing to do with my so-called life. I was like, you're a fucking idiot. You are a fucking idiot. This is why Jeff Dean quit. And so I was like, I'm going to Grok. I know Grok won't have any issues with this. No
problem, sir.
Task. Then so it did it, and it did great. But then I was like, okay, now put my face over Claire Danes, and it did something, but it looked horrible. And Sarah and I were talking today on Twitter about, there's this meme that was going around. It was like, ask Grok to look at your profile and generate an image based on what it sees.
Oh, God.
And it is the shittiest shit, slop, just Mind Journey 0.3 alpha crap. I'm just like, this fucking bullshit.
Did it look better or worse than the Beatles, the shot of the Beatles from
in the wig?
Sam Mendes' movie. That looked pretty iffy.
Bruh. Terrible.
Not good. Not good. All right, last one. What the fuck is wrong with TK? Why is he back in my feed? Why is he suggesting that founders need to get shot? And
let me just say fighting? This. Let me say this at the top, just to say something nice. Don't really love Travis. Don't love the vibe. Don't love the, you should be willing to get shot. Don't love the you're in an existential war against unknown enemies. I don't love anything about any of that. I'm always here for someone to take shots at Bill Gurley and Benchmark. If that's on the agenda, then I'm in the audience. And he is it is guaranteed that when Travis has a media appearance, he will talk some shit about Benchmark Capital. So I always appreciate that. And the rest of the clips I could take or leave, mostly leave.
All right.
I feel like there's a little bit of rewriting history going on, and I feel like given the events of history, I don't blame him for that.
Right.
If one wants to do something in the public eye, you may
Right.
have to rewrite that history a little.
Yeah, totally.
But it's given that we witnessed that history fairly closely,
recently.
fairly recently. Yeah, it's kind of like, okay, but yeah, I'm not too bothered by it, I suppose.
I love the sort of the performative like man in the arena shit is gonna, like, the clock on that is gonna strike midnight sometime soon, because it is so
After
over
election
the
day?
top. It's so over the top. It's not even politically coded necessarily. It's just like this whole thing, like the Cursor Bros posted a thing where it's like, our acquisition closed. We took 1 hour off for pasta on Sunday, and then it was back at work. I was like, yeah, and you bought like a $70 million house. Like, don't, I mean, come on, like, let's not front. This is ridiculous. Like this whole 997 for life. Like, I don't do anything except work, and like that's what it takes, because you've got to be willing to eat a bullet. Blah blah blah.
This is what I hear what I perceive when someone says they're doing 997 is that you're working that many hours at subpar performance. You are a B player working a lot of hours, because A players, like athletes need recovery days so that they can be at peak performance, and you're just being inefficient if you're going to be at a C level or a B level all the time. Take a day off so that you can come back and be A level the next day, and the greatest ideas and the best things come from when you are at A. If you are at B all the time, you will never create something great.
This is a great observation.
And when you're off, that's when you have the insight, right? It's when you see you're doing something different. You're reading a book, you're watching a movie.
Yeah, your lateral thinking. I would like to say also, though, as a counterpoint, like, I'm 997 in right now because I'm working on 3 hours of sleep, because we got back to San Francisco at 2 a.m. last night, and I was up at 5:30, getting the kid, getting ready for the first day of school. So I am fucking cooked right now, but I'm still showing up.
How was Tori Amos? How was Tori Amos last night?
Shout out to Tori Amos. It was like, I think my 13th or 14th concert. Maybe Crystal's 200th or so. I don't know. She's seen a bunch. Got to see it with my brother and wife. She's doing great. She was a great performance in the Stiefel Theater in St. Louis.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, we also arrived yesterday, and we are very jet lagged, and I did not get very much sleep either on the plane. Thing about traveling is, like, I'm actually a very good sleeper, so I can maneuver jet lag no problem. I can sleep when I'm supposed to sleep, and I'll be up when I'm supposed to be up, with some edge cases. But it's the children.
The kids are not aware. Yeah, our kids kids did fine. They slept on the plane, and they were off to school this morning.
Wow.
But it was the first day of school, first day of kindergarten in our home today.
Big deal.
Big one.
But it was the second first day of kindergarten, because it was also the first day, second grade. So it was like, it felt less high stakes.
Right.
Everyone got into school. We made it. We're here.
And we're the only thing standing between you and a nap right now. So, or I guess
you're not lying. You're not lying.
Well, it is good to be back in the saddle, Sarah. We are so happy to have you back. And we were trying to decide what you would return for. And you immediately just looked at it and said, look, it's the summer of Nolan. This is before it was the summer of Tom explicitly. But summer of Nolan with the Odyssey rolling. And you picked Christopher Nolan's 2008 crime superhero masterpiece, The Dark Knight. Dark Knight. So we are finally doing it. Rejoice, film bros. We are going to make it happen. But before we do, next week on Escape Hatch, Jason, it's the return of Sharksploitation's Steven Scarlatta.
Oh my God, I love having Steven Scarlatta back.
It's so great. Horror, we had him on the first time for his documentary, Jodorowsky's Dune, the absolutely incredible documentary. And for a long time, we've talked about tackling Rennie Harlin's 1999 shark thriller, Deep Blue Sea.
Deepest, bluest. My hat is like a sharp fin. Deepest, bluest.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I've never seen this movie. I'm quite sure that it is a violation of my no bad movies rule on this podcast.
No, this is a great movie.
I'm going to try. Stellan's in it, right? Like, there's things that we can...
There's great things.
Hope will be good. So that is next week.
It's a good movie.
Can't wait. Deep Blue Sea. How about some quick Hatch news?
Let's do it. Hatch news
Hatch
from beyond. Sorry, I'm
has not missed a step.
Yeah.
Jason, we're
Dune.
going to Dublin, California.
You sent a note that was like, we're going to Dublin. I was like, what the fuck? I'm going, like, I was like fully convinced. He's like, I got his press screening passes for the third
Dublin
week,
Film Festival?
the third week of some shit.
IMAX 70 millimeter, and actually, indeed, all IMAX screenings for Dune went on sale today, except for some reason, the Metreon has still not, let me just hit refresh really quick, but the Metreon has still not listed their Monday night screening. It shows its tickets not available for that, but who knew that we have a Regal Cinema in Dublin, California that has 70 millimeter IMAX? I had no idea.
I didn't know that either. I'd never heard of this.
So wait, are you guys doing the thing there?
No,
no.
Oh.
Don't confuse people.
I'm just...
No.
I didn't mean you, Sarah. I meant
Matt.
Matt is
no, we already have
people.
tickets. We already have tickets for Friday for the party. So
we've rented out a theater on Friday.
Yeah. The whole theater, as usual. But we're going to go see it on Monday, so Jason and I can record our full episode on Tuesday so that it can be locked and loaded, and we'll be like professionals. The podcast will just drop on Friday when the movie comes out, as opposed to us trying to record something on Saturday or whatever, like a total.
How are you going to get to Dublin?
I mean,
this is a good question.
There's no way, you know?
Yeah. So if you guys haven't bought your tickets yet, go take a look at your IMAX tickets for Dune. It's all out there and ready. Second piece of Hatch news. Last night, I assume both of you watched Lanterns episode 1.
Wait. There was also additional Dune footage that was released. I mean, the big thing is like we're getting the fucking Guild Navigator, Edric. Like there had been speculation about what this was, but it seems very clear from the new footage that we're getting the Guild Navigator, and he's got a weird voice and he's in a fucking sarcophagus. And it's pretty fucking thrilling because I think it points to just how weird this movie is going to be. There's a space samurai. There's weird parts that look like it's got a weird look to it. It looks like a shot in like Kodachrome or something. Like this movie's gonna be fucking weird as shit. It could be Jodorowsky's Dune at last. Finally, and for real.
That shot of the samurai armor looked really badass, like the Shogun helmet or whatever.
I have no idea what it means. No idea why. But I'm for it. I'm here. Anyway, new footage.
Sarah, what do you think about the 2:20 runtime? Confirmed. That's the shortest of the 3 movies.
That's very short. I didn't know that. I think that's good for me. I mean, it means that it's more likely I'll rewatch it at home.
Yeah, exactly. Well, very excited. It's great to get that new footage, and cannot wait. We're just 4 months out from the screening. Now on to Lanterns episode 1. Jason, you watched it on the plane last night on the way?
I did not. I am deep in the agency.
I am caught up on the agency.
I am caught up on the agency.
Did you watch the original?
I started the original. I watched all of the agency in approximately it's the quickest I've ever watched any TV show. I was just like, this shit is fucking amazing.
It's good.
I would on vacation, I would put my kids to bed. I love Fassbender. I love the entire cast is so good.
Richard Gere. Who would have thought?
Gere. The woman who plays Danielle Acosta, the woman who plays like the young spy. It's this like Spanish Danish actress, fucking like absolute knockout, and like it's just such a great show. I was so into it, and then I was like, all right, let's just watch like The Bureau, and like I'm gonna watch all of The Bureau, and there's like 5 seasons of it.
You should, yeah.
I'm excited to watch it.
Jesus,
cast just isn't. It's not my. It's not
Fassbender.
It's not my spy. There's no Fassbender.
Because I watched the other one first. One of the things that was disappointing to me, I liked the cast of the American one, but it was like a lot of the plot is exactly the same. And I thought maybe
it's
they would just
beat for beat.
Right, beat for beat. And I thought it'd be more like,
interpretation.
The Office versus The Office. Like they would just do an American interpretation. I thought it was also interesting that they made the American show in London. as opposed to at Langley or wherever they would be otherwise. And I think it's because you need to be in close proximity to where the action is actually happening. Otherwise, it really destroys your plot points. Like you need to be something needs to happen, then you need to get to North Africa right away. You need to get to Iran right away. If you're coming from Virginia, it's like it's the next day. I mean, that's that's too far.
You're really jet lagged.
What is the deal? And Jason, I asked this question. I never looked it up, but maybe like, how is the CIA allowed to just operate in London? Like, that's like,
we have
okay?
we just have like a super deep intelligence sharing relationship with the Brits that goes back to World War II, and they're essentially do
we have CIA shops in other countries?
Yeah, like Australia. Wow. I mean, there's a huge base in Australia that's like essentially like U.S. sovereign territory. This is like known. This is not
okay. Yeah. No, I just had no idea.
Yeah, where like the CIA has like a huge site. In Australia.
So
Australian citizens not super stoked about it. But yeah, there's this Five Eyes. Like this concept of the Five Eyes, which is like the UK, the US, the Australians, the Kiwis, and the Canadians, and like it's just like super, like it's like a super tight information sharing relationship, which is, and this like goes back like forever, and like
hasn't that been under threat though recently?
Yes, of course, because yes, I mean like we no longer because we we don't like get along well with our international allies anymore,
right?
But like so it's like information sharing and like operational like sort of authorities, and like it's sort of known that like they spy on each other and kind of monitor each other, and that's just kind of considered in the game, and then like occasionally it bubbles up and it's like, oh, like we had Angela Merkel's cell phone number, that's awkward, oh sorry.
Whoops.
And like
it just made it such that, and I'm not going to try to spoil anything, but any like potential of like betrayal between the US and the UK just doesn't really hold any weight when they are already sharing intelligence, which is another thing that made it just a little, it was like less impactful for me, because on the French one it was more the betrayal was stronger.
I do like this in the to me you get in the agency, the like sort of rivalry cooperation between the Americans and the Brits was to me an interesting echo of Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. Listen to our episode with Ben Rhodes, because there is this thing, and it's part of the plot. Like the guy who, well, spoilers for the agency, but the guy who becomes
no.
He has it's not.
I'm about to start the agency. I'm literally
there's a thing where it's like, oh, like we've had to take shit from you for so long. Like we've always sort of been like in the second seat, and that's like kind of was the motivation of Tinker Tailor as well.
Yeah, for sure.
The Brits were tired of feeling like sort of the second child in the international.
What do they call it? My cousin or my older brother?
Yeah, our American cousins. Yeah,
American cousins. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to starting the agency. I also watched the trailer today for Slow Horses season 6, which had quite a surprise in the last shot of the trailer. That had me very excited to see what's going to happen with that. So checking that out. Well, let me just hit Lanterns really quick. You guys should definitely watch this show. And when I heard the description, it's really good. And when I heard the description of, Green Lanterns plus True Detective, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? How does this make any sense at all? And it just works. Like, it really works. You just sort of buy the premise. It's unfolding across multiple timelines, which is something that they did in each of True Detective seasons, I guess 1 and 3. And so it's just very, very cool. Damon Lindelof can do no wrong. I just love that guy. And it's also got Tom King, who's an incredible ex-CIA agent and then comic writer who's written a bunch of the best comics of the last 15 years. So highly recommend folks check it out. It also has, Coach from Friday Night Lights is Hal Jordan, and he's just playing this totally weather-worn, cynical as shit.
He seems great.
He is great. Aaron Pierre is fantastic as John. And then we have serious No Country representation. So Carla Jean, Kelly MacDonald is in, as well as Deputy Wendell. Whoa, differences.
I love those folks. I love both of them. That's great.
Really great. Really
I'm going to watch it for sure. I did actually download it on my phone, but then I just got into I now I got to watch 4 seasons of this French show, and it's harder to like power through because like my French is not very good, and so I have to watch the
Right.
subtitles.
Yeah.
Whereas like
You have to watch. You have
with
to pay
other TV
attention.
shows, I'll have on like the side screen and just like kind of can get
Right.
other things done.
Do I have to have seen True Detective to?
No, not
Okay.
at all.
Okay.
Not at all. And you don't have to know much about Green Lantern, like
okay.
which is really cool. You don't have to be paying attention. This is technically, I guess, this is inside the new DC universe with David Cornsweet's Superman. And we saw Guy Gardner, played by Nathan Fillion, as a Green Lantern in that movie. So it's in that kind of inside that universe, but you don't need anything to get into it, which is cool.
Great.
Last piece, I watched Widow's Bay.
Oh, that's great.
On 2
I
flights.
am 3 episodes in.
It's a great show. It's a really great show.
So I really liked it. It was so hyped to me. Like, this is changing television for all time. And, episode 4 is the greatest thing in history. And I was like, I liked episode 4 a lot. I thought episode 5 was a lot stronger. But anything that has Patricia in it, like any scene with her, she is so fucking funny.
Yeah, she's really funny.
And really, really good. But I definitely was trying to maintain the balance of these different, very stylistic modes that the show operates in. And so I found that a little bit hard to reconcile as I went through the season, but a lot of great performances.
And you're saying that like it's like because it's horror and comedy?
Yeah. Which great horror does that, right? Like, like The Thing has tons of great comedy in it. But this is different how it operates in comedy mode and then in horror mode.
I think that's fair. I don't know if it's if I went into a thing as the best show ever, I probably would be disappointed. I thought it was a very good show. I like The Agency more as a calibration point. I did like it enough that I went and rewatched the entirety of The Americans because I love Matthew Rhys so much. And now I want to watch The Diplomat too because I miss Kerry Russell. So
4 seasons. Get ready to go.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Are you guys ready to get into this movie?
I need a bathroom break. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
You got it. Do. Let's see. Putting the music on. Did you guys go anywhere else besides Spain?
Yeah, we went to England and Scotland and Spain.
I want to go to Scotland really badly.
It's my first time.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Like, where'd you guys go?
We were at a place outside of Edinburgh. It was like Scottish countryside. It was lovely.
Nice.
I loved it. I think.
What'd you guys do? Did you hike? Did you go look at castles? Like, what did you get?
We
up
were
to?
at like a resort in the Scottish countryside, and it was they had tons of stuff for the kids. It was like, they had like a lot of activities. You could go shooting. You can go, afternoon tea. You can, there's there was like a huge playground essentially for the kids.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. We're trying to figure out. We did not. We just basically didn't go anywhere this summer. We decided not to leave the country just because it seemed kind of crazy out there. And so
it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. We were in the EU and the UK, and it was all fun.
Yeah. What was the weather like in Scotland?
In Scotland was nice and cold and rainy, as one would expect. But it's like that UK mist. It's like it's only available in that island. Yeah. And it was lovely and romantic. Spain was hot AF, just like swelteringly hot, but the water was really nice. So there was that. And then London was so hot, unusually hot. Like it was 100 degrees in London one day.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Dang.
Crazy.
Yeah. Those guys are getting cooked for sure.
Yeah. It definitely cooled down by the time we left. So at least there was that. But it was unusually hot. But it was fun. We were good.
Do you guys do much travel during the fall time, or are you pretty much like hunkered down now?
We are gonna be pretty hunkered down until December. Other than any work travel. I think Kayvon's gonna go to New York for a week in September.
We have a bunch of we've got the Texas football games that we're gonna go to. I think we're going to the Lobby conference. And then we've got
where's the Lobby?
That's in Hawaii somewhere. I think Big Island. Big Island,
Nice.
probably. But so that'll be nice to get to that. But I'm definitely looking forward. Like we're closing in on college football starting like within the
Right.
next two weeks or something. So
Right.
pretty fired up for that to happen.
Great.
Get in the mix. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna go. We're gonna go to. We always go to a couple of games uh in Austin, but then we're also gonna go to a game in New Orleans, which should be really cool.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
nice.
in
New
in
Orleans
Baton
is such a
Rouge.
great city.
I know New Orleans is great, but we'll be. Oh, I can't hear you, Jason.
Nope.
Hello.
That's a negative.
Let's see. Are you muted? It's on your mic. It says it's on the analog 1 2 focus right.
Oh, God, I am tired.
Mm. Dee-doo.
Summer of Tom. Hayden Panettiere, man.
That's tough, man. That's really tough.
Crazy.
I had just read the article about her
Yeah.
her book a
Yeah.
couple of weeks ago, and I was like, this is tough. This does not
Yeah.
sound good. Anytime you have to give up you know, custody of your child to a partner, it's not a good scene. It's a real pisser. Did you watch that show? You did. Heroes.
I did. The first season.
That show was a game changer. Like that was such a huge thing when that came out.
Huge.
Everybody was talking about it. Hero was incredible. Like it's just awesome.
Yeah, they really botched that one.
I can't remember how far I rode the train. I for sure was there at least through 2 seasons, and I can't remember where it went. You know,
I think
after
it just
the
got
fact.
like really. They literally lost the plot. Like, it was just, yeah.
That's a bummer when that happens.
Jason.
Hi. Okay.
All good
Everything's
now.
fine
I lost my backup recording, so
It's
hopefully
fine. I wasn't doing a backup recording.
Okay.
Fuck it.
It's gonna be great.
This is season 9, Jason. We're past backup recordings.
Okay,
now.
great.
Have you ever needed one, or how often do you need one?
We have on a handful of occasions. Like
This is gonna be the one. This is gonna be the one where we need.
Riverside also has a shitty backup, which is like the internet streamed backup. That's not the good local copy. So like that's also a fallback. But all right. Are you guys ready to get into this movie?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. The Dark Knight is the battle waged within each of us between fear and hope. 1 year into Bruce Wayne's war against crime, with new allies Lieutenant Jim Gordon and fearless district attorneys Harvey Dent and Rachel Dawes, Gotham is finally turning a corner. But in their desperation, the criminal elements turn to a man who cannot be bought or bargained with, a scarred anarchist in grease paint who calls himself the Joker and wants only to watch the world burn. As the Joker's escalating games destroy both the woman he loves and the white knight the city desperately needs, Bruce must place his trust in the ordinary citizens of Gotham, give them the hero that they deserve, even if it means sacrificing the legend of the Dark Knight. Dun, dun, dun.
So good.
So good.
Wow. So 2008, what was your first experience with the Dark Knight, Sarah?
I am fairly certain I saw it in theaters, but I don't actually remember. I did see Batman Begins in theaters for sure. So I'm fairly confident I saw it in theaters. Interestingly enough, even though I think it has been globally identified as the best of the trilogy, it is not my favorite of the trilogy.
Wow.
Whoa,
I know.
hot take. Okay.
Hot take.
All right, we'll get there then. I cannot wait to hear. Jason, what about you?
I saw this shit in the theater. I was ready for it. I was excited about it. Yeah, man. I saw this shit. I liked it. I saw it in IMAX.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Back
Yeah.
then.
In the day. Yeah, totally.
Damn.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also saw this in the theater. I was fully dialed into this. We're just so folks know, we're skipping Batman Begins. We've not covered that on the podcast. We're going straight to Dark Knight here. Obviously, a lot of influence, including the name, on The Dark Knight Returns, which is Frank Miller's, arguably the greatest comic book ever written. And so, yeah, fully on board for this. Had liked Batman Begins quite a bit, but thought this took it to an entirely new level. And I've watched it, many times since this came out. Just some
Same.
quick behind the scenes here. So Batman Begins was 2005, and that was actually my first question when I did this, because I couldn't remember the history, was what's the deal with Legendary Pictures? Obviously, we know Legendary Pictures because they do Dune, and they've done Godzilla, they've done a ton of Nolan's movies. But basically, there was a guy in 2000 named Thomas Tull, who basically went out and raised $500 million of hedge fund money to co-finance Warner Brothers tentpole movies. So basically taking on the risk, 50-50 split of the cost and the profits. And Batman Begins was the first one that they did. And it had a budget of 150 million and made 373 million worldwide, which at the time was considered pretty good for 2005. But it's amazing to me, Nolan had not even planned a sequel. And so he and David Goyer spent a couple of months working on the core plot of this. And the key word being escalation, like what would happen to take this up another notch in the battle. Jonathan Nolan comes in, writes the draft while Chris is shooting The Prestige. And the two of them, worked on that, bringing a focus on some of the classic 80s Batman comics, as I referenced Batman, The Dark Knight Returns, and Frank Miller's Batman Year One, as well as 70s crime cinema with Heat and French Connection, and some of those elements.
Good synopsis.
Budget on this one, $185 million, so $35 million more. Worldwide, $1 billion.
It worked.
The first ever superhero film to cross $1 billion. And it came out in July of 2008 against Hancock, Mamma Mia, Wall-E. That's a good one.
That was a good one.
Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, and Step Brothers.
I've never seen Step Brothers.
Neither have I.
Step Brothers is very funny. Good movie. Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly. Good stuff.
I think I've seen Wall-E about 1,000 times.
It's so good. It's so good. All right. So, Sarah, where do you want to start with The Dark Knight?
Great. So there's a lot of places to start, because there are so many acts in this movie.
Yeah.
There are so many points in this movie where like it could have ended and you would have been like, that was a great movie. And it just keeps going, keeps escalating. There's so many different kind of sub stories within the main story. But I would love to start with Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes.
So The Dark Knight is my husband's favorite movie. And when I told him that I was doing this, he was kind of like, come on. But what I will say, and I do agree with him, is that like Maggie Gyllenhaal was not my favorite casting choice to replace Katie Holmes.
Katie Holmes, yeah.
Would love to hear the take on that.
They had considered Sarah Michelle Gellar, Isla Fisher, Emily Blunt, and Rachel McAdams. So they were all
Rachel McAdams would have been nice.
Very, very interesting. So I love Maggie Gyllenhaal in this role. I love the way she deals with Bruce, especially at the party, the way that she steps up to the Joker, and puts him in check. And then the way she's just standing there with him with the knife in her mouth, and the fear and the vulnerability, but the core of strength. But her delivery when she's like telling Harvey it's going to be okay, everything's all right before the bomb goes off, I was just like, holy shit, that was amazing. And I love her performance. Jason, we lost
can't
your
hear
audio.
you.
Shoot. Sign Beach. Tell me your take. Give me your take. She didn't work for you.
No, she didn't work for me. I will say that I'm probably even more tainted because of how much Kayvon doesn't like her in the movie, and I hear about that a lot. Um, but if you think of Katie Holmes as the Rachel, hello, we can hear you now.
Change. It's just like dropping in. I'm not even doing a backup now. Maybe that's the only thing I can guess. It was the backup. If that fails, I don't know what to say.
Okay. All right, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So Katie for you is she's like
Katie for me.
The Rachel.
If she is the Rachel,
for Sarah. Yeah.
We did lose your audio again, Jason.
You probably need to reboot all the way out.
It was working so well for so long.
I know. I don't know what happened.
Okay, so if Katie Holmes is the Rachel that, we should be basing the next Rachel on in this trilogy, I just felt like she didn't capture the personality that Katie Holmes had set forth. I think she did really make it in her own. And, to some extent, like, that's good. And we want people to do that. But and from another perspective, like, Katie Holmes has already established the character. And I would have preferred if she had just continued that. And I found Katie Holmes to play the character much more delicately. And, for better or for worse, I think for better. But and I don't felt like Maggie continued to play her delicately. And
I guess I'll make that case though. Like, could it be that the events of Batman Begins changed her, and that in the intervening year since that happened, that she's had to develop more of a hardened exterior. She's moved on from Bruce, so she's just a different. She's had to become a different person in order to do it. That's at least my charitable take on it.
Yeah, you're finding a canon explanation for the change of actress, which is great. And yeah, I think that's probably true. I just don't love her acting style in the role. I think she takes me out of it.
Interesting.
So, I don't love that. Having said that, that's like, I'm making it to be more extreme than it is. The movie is still really a top movie, one of the top movies of all time, I'd probably say.
Yeah.
So, I'm finding flaws. But didn't love her in the role. I didn't see the chemistry between her and Bruce the way I saw it with Katie, and the way you see it later with Anne Hathaway. So I just feel like as a leading female protagonist from the three movies, she is the weakest.
I mean, I guess I would argue Talia is the weakest of all the female antagonists in the series, right? What's her name? Who plays Talia? From Inception. I can't remember her name. Let me look it up. Here we go. Booty doopy doo. I'm going.
Yeah. I'm talking about protagonists, though.
Yes. Wait, what's her name? Why isn't it listed here?
Damn
it. This is all getting cut out.
Yeah.
Cotillard.
Marion Cotillard.
Yeah, Marianne
Yeah.
Cotillard. She's romantic. They hook up.
Yeah.
Sam was really
yeah,
pissed.
they do hook up. I forgot about that.
Sam was really pissed because in Batman The Dark Knight Lego Legends of the Dark Knight that he just finished. He played the whole game and really loved it. Talia is introduced in the very beginning, basically when Bruce is in China and going up to Ra's al Ghul's place. Talia is another person who's going up with him, and you don't know who she is. She's just this badass, and she's with him through the whole journey. And so he was very confused. He's like, "Where's Talia? What's going on?" I was like, "Well, they changed it like for the game. She's not in because we watched the movie." And so he found.
So you did watch the movie with him.
I watched Batman Begins with him. I felt like that was okay to watch, and then I struggled with whether or not I should watch The Dark Knight with him, and in the end, I decided. No, I was not going to watch The Dark Knight with Sam. And then I was extremely glad that I did not watch The Dark Knight with Sam. I'm like, this is just not going to work for kids.
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah. There are parts of Batman Begins that are pretty scary, like the whole scarecrow concept, I think is very scary. But I think the moral dilemma questions posed in The Dark Knight are even worse for a child.
The moral dilemma is there, and then just repeated scenes of Heath just being really fucking just really nasty.
Yeah.
It's like the pencil trick is one thing. I doubt Sam would even understand what had just happened, but the other, just putting the knife on Rachel was too much for me. So I'm very glad with how I landed.
It's also a really long movie for kids, which is like why I was not considering it for our family. Although we are now we watched Avengers Infinity War in 2 parts, and now we watched Avengers Endgame. We've watched half of Avengers Endgame.
Wow.
And the kids really like all that. The kids are super
Civil War?
into it.
Did you do Civil War?
No. Skipped
it. All right, Sam and I are on Civil War. Like we're doing Civil War next, and then we got Black Panther and stuff.
We basically have only done Avengers Infinity War, Endgame, and then all 3 of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. And I think we'll do a Thor kind of run next because they like Thor.
I was really stoked because we got on a flight to the East Coast last week, and I was like, "Hey, by the way, I downloaded Ant-Man. You can go ahead and watch that because I don't want to watch that again right now." And he watched all of Ant-Man, and he's got the whole Incredible Hulk and Thor, which are the only 2 other ones that we skipped in the entire run. So I'm like, that's an assignment. You watch those whenever you feel like it, and then we'll meet back up for Civil War and keep going. So
my kids really like the joke in game where Hulk is at the diner and the kids come up and want a photo with the Hulk, and Ant-Man's like, "Hey, I'm Ant-Man, you want a photo with me?" And the kids like, they thought that was absolutely hilarious. Like they thought they like loved the idea of Ant-Man just getting shit on.
Nice.
Even though they had never seen Ant-Man before. They had just recently learned who he was because we'd never seen any of his shit. They were like, "Yeah, this guy sucks. Fuck him. Shit on him."
This is a bit of a tangent, but did I ever tell you guys how I interviewed Joe and Anthony Russo at Twitter?
No.
Yeah,
cool.
Right after Endgame.
Community Day? Oh, Endgame.
Right after Endgame, and I interviewed them at like a tea time adjacent type event.
Wow.
That's amazing.
How was it?
And it's on video somewhere on the internet. Oh, it was incredible. It was one of the most incredible. I mean,
that's great.
Yeah, it was. They were larger than life.
Do you still have their number? Can we get them?
I didn't get their number, but
that was briefly my gig, the celebrity interviewer gig.
Yeah.
It's a sweet gig.
Sweet gig.
Man. All right, Jason, do you have anything to add to Maggie Gyllenhaal? We got 1 pro and 1 against.
I'm against. I'm for Katie Holmes. I think Maggie's kind of a miss in this whole thing, and like by the time she dies, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Just let's move it. Let's move it along here.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not for
You're
it.
outnumbered here, Matt. You're outnumbered.
I am. Okay. All right. I'll give it up. All right. So
Yeah.
good. So Sarah's starting with one strike against the movie, and we'll see how we unfold. What is your first point, Jason? Where do you want to start?
I just like the opening sequence, the first sequence, like I do remember seeing in IMAX, and it was it was thrilling because like I had just I watched it in Bend where I've got like the good TV, and I just got this. I think I've hyped this before, but I will do it again. This like service Kaleidoscape where you can download and stream like Dolby Atmos and Dolby Vision content. So I was able to watch it like in like the full uncompressed, and I was just like, holy fucking shit, like this thing is like this thing is going. And
that
it's
shot, the motion of the shot just coming into the window, and then when it finally
you got Fichtner in there is like, you guys are fucking dead, like that whole thing.
The
and
shotgun.
Like, it's just so exciting. It's great, and like you get a sense, even like it's very compelling. Because I mean, I think one of the things we'll talk about is Heath Ledger in this, but you get a sense just from this opening sequence, even though he's masked and you don't really know who he is yet,
just the posture,
just how scary Heath Ledger is going to be and how commanding he's going to be in this movie. And so it was really great. And you just sort of see like a lot of the things that make Nolan so Nolan-y. It's just like the grain of the film and the IMAX of it, and like just like how he like loves he just loves putting shit on that big ass noisy camera. So yeah, I love that. I love that.
It looked so good. And seeing the guys take the wires across, to get down to the top of the bank just made me want to rewatch Tenet. Like it made me like, give me the big sci-fi actiony type thing. But you also have the, I'll just go ahead and pile onto this for me, the grounding of the real world is what really makes this so effective. So this notion of it feeling so real, so much of the movie taking place during the daytime and not being afraid to have action segments that happen during the daytime. But even like going to Hong Kong and getting the international elements that you have is so cool. It's very clearly James Bond, him auditioning for James Bond. But a real choice for them to just take 20 minutes and like go to Hong Kong and
I will confess I forgot that sequence was in the movie. Like I was like, oh, they're in China. Very interesting.
A lot happens in this movie. Like it's just there's a lot.
Yeah. But also so cool that in some respects the plot is very simple. You have these guys, they're getting squeezed by Batman and by the justice system, and they're just going to kill them. Like that's it. That's their mission. We're going to kill the judges and the attorneys that are coming after us, and eventually they'll leave us alone, and we'll take out Batman. Mm-hmm. There is no big sci-fi plot. There is no earth-shattering change that is coming, and the stakes are deeply personal, and that works incredibly well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think it also works incredibly well for the second of a trilogy, because if the stakes get too high in the second of a trilogy, then in the third of the trilogy you have to escalate it even further, and then I don't know, sometimes it gets too far. It's like Endgame, now we have Doomsday. It's like, how many times are we going to ruin all of the multiverse and whatever? So I thought it was actually really well scoped. And very interesting. And you just get to live in the universe without the risk of the universe collapsing for, 2 hours and 45 minutes or whatever the runtime is. And it's amazing.
Really, really love that. Love it. They also blew up real buildings, and so you have Nolan operating in his real practical mode. And so that is thrilling to see.
He loves that shit.
He loves that shit. I didn't bother looking. Apparently, it wasn't like a problem with Heath Ledger hitting the detonator or whatever. Like something that was supposed to happen, or I can't remember. There's some. There was like an Aragorn broke his toe moment or whatever. But I can't remember exactly what the deal was. So good. Sarah, what's your next point?
I would love to talk about. So Bruce Wayne has 3 personalities. He's got his normal personality. He's got Batman, and then he's got billionaire Bruce Wayne.
Right.
And the way billionaire Bruce Wayne comes off in this movie is my absolute favorite. And he plays the billionaire asshole so well. And you know, there's a trope in female targeted fantasy where you have like this billionaire asshole, but it turns out he's actually really nice to you or whatever, to the protagonist. That works really, really well. And they play on that trope here in a really great way, because you already know he's a good guy. You already know he's Batman, and you get to see him acting like an asshole, as opposed to it the other way around, where like you see him as the asshole first and then you discover that he's a good guy. And I just love the way they did it. It works. It's attractive. He goes into that party or whatever with 2 women, and Rachel is like, come on. And then when he's on the yacht and, you know, Alfred is doing all the sunscreen, they just did such a good job with that as his persona. And I think he played it really, really well.
I was trying to figure out when he was sleeping during the board meeting, if it was him actually sleeping because he was tired from being Batman overnight, or if I always assumed that it was him pretending to sleep, or maybe effectively sleeping, but he was specifically putting on an act of billionaire Bruce Wayne sleeping through the board meeting.
I think it's that.
Yeah.
I think it's that.
Yeah. But I think he's so good, he can also get rest while he's doing it.
Right. And I think Christian Bale did a really, really good job of being that person.
I've told the story before, but I was at American Psycho in 2000, I guess that was. I remember watching it in the theater and watching him being a complete fucking psycho and putting all the skin cream on his face and stuff and working out and murdering people. And I was like, this is 2000. I'm like, that is Bruce Wayne right there. This fucking psycho is Bruce Wayne. You gotta cast this guy. Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
I was convinced that had to happen. And so I was very pleased when it did.
I have a related point to this about Bruce Wayne, which is to maybe backtrack some of my DSA slander from the beginning of the pod, which is that like every billionaire superhero is a policy failure. Like it just doesn't work for me at some level, that like it reads so differently to me now. I'm like, oh yeah, he's so rich and cool and he's got all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, but he shouldn't. Like it should like this is not like, this shouldn't be the answer.
His dad built the trains. Like he put in the affordable.
But what did he do? What did he do? He inherited it. And like, you know, he gets to pursue enemies of his own choice and his own means with like, you know, unlimited wealth and power. It just seems really bad. Just seems bad. It shouldn't happen.
I think the movie disagrees with you, right? Like it's like showing all the corrupt judges and police officers and whatever.
I don't think it disagrees with me. I do think it's like sort of, it's like one of the interesting things that's like in The Watchmen, is like making Ozymandias like the villain, in that, spoilers for The Watchmen. But like, you know, it's like making like the genius billionaire, like the villain who's like got unchecked power, and actually that's bad. Like, yes, it shows that he's like, you know, struggling with it or whatever, but like he's clearly the hero of the story. Like he's like, you know, he's not like, he's not the hero of the story. Like, you know, like it's not like Two-Face isn't the hero of the story secretly or something like that. Maggie Gyllenhaal is not the hero of the story. Alfred is not the hero of the story. What do you think Alfred pulls down a year working this job for Bruce Wayne? What do you think Alfred's take home is?
Don't you remember he had everything was left to Alfred when the parents died or when Bruce left or whatever? So like he was loaning Bruce stuff. I think Alfred is loaded. And depending on which version you come from, he like was Sir Alfred Pennyworth and like was Royal Secret, you know, like OSS or whatever their thing was back in World War II or post World War II. So, and
I mean, if he's super loaded and like, so he just does this because he just believes so much. Bruce.
He's like so dedicated to Bruce. I don't know. He's got to go put like suntan lotion on the Russian models.
Everyone plays their part.
Everyone plays their part.
That seemed like a good gig. I mean, this is something that Nolan does so well in this movie because there are elements of it that are very dour and very, very serious. But the amount of humor that this film delivers, whether it's Bale or whether it's Aaron Eckhart or especially Lucius Fox, like I love Morgan Freeman. I love Michael Caine in this movie, and it really makes the movie work because you have those variations.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, speaking of making it work, Heath friggin' Ledger. So to step into the shoes of Jack Nicholson, who plays an iconic version of the Joker, then you have all of the ridiculous Batman villains that just become so stupid in Batman and Robin and Batman Forever. They're just totally ridiculous, and to come back and then do something that is heightened, definitely heightened, but also really works. I thought is just an unbelievable performance. That the clothes that he has, that he's made himself, and the makeup, his delivery, the voice.
The voice is so good. All of the lip licking stuff is so good.
Yeah,
it's really an incredible performance. It really is one of. I mean, it's something to just immediately outdo every other Joker performance that's ever existed
or will ever exist. Yeah,
and then it's like but then also just the fact that we don't have Heath Ledger around anymore. This testament to this amazing what an amazing career that would have been. With more time, he really would have been one of those guys for quite some time. Yeah, it's a standout.
Also, just the writing, the idea, this runner of you want to know how I got these scars, that idea that he would just reinvent himself and everything's real and nothing's real.
Yeah.
It's so good. Or the "You Complete Me." This is something Scott Snyder did his run on Batman 10 years ago or whenever that started. That notion of only the Joker understands Batman, and the two of them are the real family. Everyone else is a distraction. Everyone else is trying to figure Bruce how he can stop being Batman, and the Joker's the one who's like, no, this is like, we're doing the thing and we just got to keep doing it. I love you just the way you are. That kind of like sick recognition is just really beautiful.
It's good.
Let's see, Jason, what is your next point?
Shout out to Patrick Leahy, who is in the party sequence, the fundraiser sequence. Senator Patrick Leahy decided to have a cameo.
I didn't realize
in the movie. Yeah, Senator Patrick Leahy is in there, and he's the one that says to the Joker, "We're not intimidated by thugs."
Yeah,
and he's just like a huge was a huge Batman fan and was just like, I'm gonna be in the Batman movie. I was like, shout out to you, Patrick.
That's really
I really enjoyed it. He does a good job. You don't really think he's like someone's cousin or something like that. It's like, oh yeah, this looks like an old guy who kind of looks like a rich sort of someone to be at a political fundraiser, and yeah, it's great. That's great. He's been in 5 Batman movies. He just keeps showing up. Yeah,
what?
Patrick Leahy. Yeah,
other Nolan ones too.
He was in. Let's see. He was in Batman Forever alongside Val Kilmer. He was in one episode of the animated series playing quote territorial governor. He played himself in Batman and Robin with Clooney. And then he played he played this guy, and he played this. It was supposed to be like a Wayne Enterprises board member or something like that. So he's out there.
Funny.
He's out there
making moves.
Yep.
Making moves.
Yeah. President pro temp.
I want to come back to the pacing that you talked about, because I feel like this movie, it moves like a freight train for a significant it just keeps going, boom, 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 stuff unfolds, and then it just keeps unfolding, opening, closing, opening, closing. and then it peaks, Jason, not to steal your thunder, but the halfway point is is the start of the truck chase. And that truck chase is just so fucking awesome. The tumbler is so incredible, and the notion of, on lower Fifth Ave it'll be a turkey show or whatever. All of that unfolding on the bottom with no score whatsoever, and then they come up above ground and the score comes in, and you're just like, fuck yeah, let's go, let's do it. Man, big action.
I agree. I just think like after the truck race, after the truck stuff, there's still a lot of movie left.
Yeah.
And like
a lot.
I was just like, okay, like up here, what else? I mean, like, yada yada yada, he's Two-Face, like, and I was like, oh no, there's like an hour of this movie left at this point. Like, as is often the case with Nolan, it kind of feels like there's maybe 20 minutes that we could have found cuts for somewhere along the way. So I don't know, I did have that note as well.
I think that's right. The third act, when we get to the ferries, right, and the prisoner's dilemma, right? This is the big kind of thing. And this is about saying, this is about the people proving the Joker wrong, that in the end of the day, people are going to turn together. And I love the fact that it's President Lindbergh from The Fifth Element, Tommy Tiny Lister. I did what you should have did 10 minutes ago. Throws the thing out the window. And the other guy is really good. You guys are too young to have watched Northern Exposure, but Doug Ballard, who is like the asshole businessman. He's like basically the dickhead from Die Hard style, asshole business guy. But I really loved him and the fact that he chickens out at the end. He can't bring himself to do it. I like it, but I agree with you, that element. And then we still have to go finish fighting the Joker. We still have to go get Two-Face.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So we're saying this is like a pretty good movie. It's like decent.
I think it's pretty good. I was really surprised that I was like kind of losing interest after the truck chase, frankly. Like I was like,
wow.
There's a lot, like I said earlier, there's a lot of subplots. And they're not subplots, maybe that's not the right word, but there's a lot of plot, like a ton of plot. Like in this, we haven't even talked about Gordon and the faking of the death of Gordon, which every time I rewatch this movie, I forget that was even part of it. And I have this thought of like, wait, did he really die? And then we're like, oh, no. Rachel really dies. Like he doesn't actually really die. And I forget. I've seen this movie so many times, and every time I forget about this major plot point because there's so many plot points. Just like it's a jam-packed, and I think they actually do a really good job of pacing it and increasing the tension without it making it feel like a safety movie,
Well, it is in this last third too, where you get the Bruce Wayne builds Palantir,
right.
Like subplot, which again kind of goes to my like, all billionaire superheroes are a policy mistake point. And Fox does destroy the system. Like it's not like presented as like a good solution, but like it still is the thing that's presented by the movie as being the necessary like solution to like the problem. So
sometimes, Jason, you have to.
It was really anticipating.
The ends justify means.
It was really just like the flock camera debate was really just like was in front of us 20 years ago.
The whole time.
Yeah.
I did, before I gave up on ChatGPT when the voice stuff came out, I did just ask ChatGPT. I was like, I just want you to be Lucius Fox from The Dark Knight. Like, I want you to like give me Morgan Freeman's voice or as close as you can get, and give me that kind of like
to impersonate a celebrity without compensation. Interesting. I'd like
it to be compensated. I think
you're not going to compensate. I would like it to be compensated. I'm not going to compensate him, but someone should.
I do what I can.
I do what I can. If I saw him, I would like Venmo him.
Give him a $5.
If Morgan Freeman wants to come on the pod,
it would be good. Can we talk about the supporting cast? Anybody want to talk about Aaron Eckhart?
Yeah, what happened to our guy Eckhart? Where did he go? What happened to him? Where is he? Who can find him?
Really good question.
Did he get lost? He was a thing for a minute. The Eckhart was happening. I feel like Eckhart was kind of like what's his face from Top Gun Maverick?
Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell. Like he was kind of
He
like
was
one of these
everywhere.
guys. Yeah, he was kind of like everywhere, and he's sort of like a diet Tom Cruise. Like, he's like, yeah, like, he should be good. And it's just like it doesn't last. You don't have
He's working. He's working.
I'm sure he's working. I'm sure he's out
He has
there.
4 movies in production right now, but
one of them is called Muzzle the City of Wolves. So I don't know if that's
gotta get that bag, These are
I love
actors.
wolves. What is Muzzle the City? A haunted ex-canine officer is Jake. His peaceful life is shattered when a gang brutally attacks his family. With new canine partner Argos, he uncovers He uncovers a drug ring, confronts corrupt officials, and fights inner demons while pursuing the criminals.
Okay.
So it's like sort of a it's sort of a John Wick. But the dog gets revenge.
I think he did. So he did Olympus Has Fallen. He played a president, London. So I think that's maybe his thing. He did
Muzzle City of Wolves is a sequel, Jason. There was an original
Muzzle 1? Oh,
yes.
okay. All right.
He also did The Core. So I will say, have you ever seen In the Company of Men? That was his breakout film.
No. It sounds familiar, so I might have, but I can't remember. Is it a
In the
play?
Company of Men? It is. It's a very small indie film. It's him and another guy where they play like business bros who are absolutely being vile to a deaf woman that works at the company.
Sick.
And it is one of the meanest spirited and absolutely hilarious films I've ever seen.
Okay.
I just can't believe it.
Matt's Chud pick of the week.
Correct. But it works.
No, it's Neil LaBute.
It's Neil LaBute, yeah. And then they also did Your Friends and Neighbors, which is another Neil LaBute, like real asshole. That's the one where they're Jason Patrick and I forget who else, and they're all having affairs with their best friends or whatever. So he, came up with some really incredible stuff, but, all our best. He's great in this.
Yes.
He's fine.
In this film.
He's good. He's good. I don't know. He's good. Yeah. I mean, I just didn't understand, like, what is Two-Face like? What happens? Like, where does he? What is? It's not like generative in the way that like the Joker is. Like the Joker is like
the love of his life is murdered by the mob and by the Joker, and his face is burned off.
Right,
and he is willing to then murder people and kill them with extreme prejudice.
Right.
So he is driven over the edge and becomes a force of criminality and vengeance, unfettered vengeance. And it's the White Knight looking at the other side of that. Batman refuses to come. Right. Batman refuses to do that. But he is willing. He is willing to.
Right. Okay.
Like that. They made him a good guy in the in the first half of the movie or whatever, and that you could actually feel it. Like they could have done a trope where he and Batman or he and Bruce Wayne go at it a little bit more, and they go at it a little bit, but they could have really leaned into that, and I think that would have been annoying. So I thought they did a good job of not doing that and actually making them work together from the Bruce Wayne side, not just the Batman side. And then, but I think similar to what we were talking about before, I think the worst part of him is Maggie Gyllenhaal. And whenever Maggie Gyllenhaal's, she does the you make your own luck, like when she delivers that line. I don't like the way she delivers the line, and it just devalues what he had put into the scene. So I don't know.
Wow. Dang.
A lot of Maggie
Gyllenhaal really dragging this movie down.
Yeah, and her people didn't like her Bride movie. Like she's having a tough one this year. Well, what about Gary Oldman as Jim Gordon?
Oh, so good.
He's great. No notes.
So good. No notes. Yeah, right.
What has Gary Oldman ever been bad in? Like Gary Oldman is just always just fire and strikes. Like Gary Oldman's always at 100. Like literally, what's the worst Gary Oldman performance in anything? Maybe The Fifth Element because it's so
I was gonna
ridiculous,
say,
but it's
it's very
delightful.
ridiculous, but-
I love it. Oh, Dracula, that would be another one you could consider, I
Ah.
guess. But I mean, Gary Oldman's just the best. Like he's just amazing. I've never seen
Speaking-
Mank. Still need to see that.
I didn't see that. Should we? But should we do Leon? Should we do The Professional?
Very complicated. Very
We can
complicated
see.
to do. Very complicated to do.
Straight to jail. Straight to jail.
Straight to jail. Yeah.
But the rest of the bench in this film is crazy. You have Cillian Murphy who shows up for like 4 lines. Like that's crazy. How
It's
far
very strange.
his career has
Yeah, it's sort of
come.
like the
Well,
Killian
Nolan-
and Tron thing.
yeah,
Nolan
yeah,
likes to cast him and
for sure.
cast him in the first movie and was like, you better show up for the second. I don't know.
Yeah.
It works for me. I think he's
It's
so
great.
incredible at that role. Like he's so great at that role. So I was happy to see him in that one.
The way he dismissed the fake Batmans and then he's like, all right, now we're talking when Batman
Yeah.
showed up. Like that was
Yeah.
fantastic. Jason, David Dastmalchian.
I know. I
Uh,
like that as the schizophrenic cop. What a strange fellow that David
He
Dastmalchian is.
does the creepiness thing so well. Like that's
Yeah.
talent. Yeah.
He
He's
hosts a
creepy.
podcast where he's in a coffin. That's like his new thing. Yeah,
So he's just
Dastmalchian-
naturally creepy.
He's just a strange fellow. He's just
leaning into it, yeah.
What's his name of his pod? Let's see. It's got to be called something weird. Grave Conversations, a darkly funny and death positive interview series and podcast where
Death
he and
positive.
celebrity guests chat side by side in open caskets about life, mortality, and legacy.
That's wild. I'll have to give
Yeah.
that a listen.
Yeah.
Eric Roberts. Who saw that coming?
Eric Roberts, little aged, but gets thrown off a cliff. I like it. Or gets thrown off a bridge. Yeah.
I also like Nestor Carbonell. He was having a moment, right? Off Will and Grace. He was making some money. Anthony Michael Hall is the news anchor. I thought,
That is good casting. Like to see him work.
yeah, really, really good. This was the first, let's just do some quick Deakins, outstanding excellence. This was the first major movie shot with IMAX cameras. So the DP on this is Wally Pfister, Memento, Insomnia, Batman Begins, The Prestige, The Dark Knight, and Inception. Just absolutely incredible run that he's done. Let me see. Anything else that he's done? Yeah, I guess he got an Oscar for Inception. But just absolutely amazing. And they did, I think, the 65 millimeter cameras they shot for the bank heist, the Joker's key sequences, the Hong Kong, all the chase set pieces, the first ones to ever do it. And obviously now Hollywood can't quit it.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Production designer was Nathan Crawley. Batman Begins, Prestige, Dark Knight, Interstellar, Dunkirk, and Tenet. Just a
Nolan.
legend. Nolan. And the look of Gotham, the Tumblr, the Bat Pod.
The Tumblr is very cool.
I'm tempted to get that Lego set because it's very cool. But
Does the motorcycle come out of it in the Tumblr?
the motorcycle doesn't come out of it, but it's
Mm.
it's minifig scale Tumblr, so it's a big ass.
Jesus.
18 plus. It's a big model. But the Bat Cave, right? The underground area where they're working, like how fucking amazing is that?
I love those lights.
Why did they do that? Why did they blow up Wayne Manor and the Batcave and move Bruce into the city and under the in those lights? It just looked so good.
It does look really good.
Yeah.
It's very cool. Yeah. I love I feel like that studio gets used in other things too, like that set. I feel I've seen another thing with the lights and stuff. It's a great layer. I saw him the first time he walked in there. I was like, that's a cool place to hang out. I would record a podcast there and play Warcraft for sure. I would use my powers not to spy on the people of Gotham, but just to run some Mythic Plus.
So just as a note, something's happened to the quality. I don't know if you guys are experiencing the same thing. I'm hearing some artifacts and then the quality's degraded.
Cursed. We're cursed.
It's fine because
Okay.
this is a lot. What we're getting is the compressed version that gets sent across the web, and it's all local. Should all be our local copies, which should be higher quality. So
Okay.
it's
All
fine.
right. Except
I'll
for
fix it
okay.
I'll fix it in
All right.
post as we have to. Harvey's CGI face and the combination of the practical there, I thought was very good.
Mm-hmm.
And then Hans Zimmer and James Newton Howard.
Yep.
The violin string,
Yep.
just is so intense.
Baby, it's cool. It sounds cool.
Hans Zimmer. Hans
He's
Zimmer and
really
Nolan
good.
together.
He's really good.
He's really good.
He has definitely got the juice. Sarah, anything you want to make sure we miss? Any honorable mentions or anything you want to hit?
I wanted to just mention the the quotability of this movie. I think I probably quote something from this movie like once a week. Like,
whoa,
you know, stuff just like on generic stuff. Like some people just want to watch the world burn. Like you can say that about a lot of things, and I do. Another thing that has I've been quoting a lot recently is, you know, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. You know, we recently went through some changes at Particle, and I've been saying that, you know, you either die a consumer founder or you live long enough to see yourself become a B2B SaaS founder. And that is, you know, so true.
That's really funny.
So whenever I do a presentation, it usually starts with a quote like that.
Dark Knight quote.
That's
really
great.
Funny.
I love that.
Nice. Jason, we didn't have or at least we haven't opened it yet. Like, what about Nolan? You hack. That's a recurring theme for you.
Yeah, it is
from the beginning of the pod. So obviously we have the Heat homage, but
the Heat homage.
There's some Kubrick homaging as well, and some other things. But like,
what is the Kubrick homaging? Do we think in this?
Something from The Killing or something?
Oh,
maybe
okay,
it's The Masks, or I don't remember. But
very possible.
But I think this really holds up really well for me. Like I love seeing it. I love the seriousness of a serious comic book movie as opposed to the kind of more fantastical elements.
I completely agree.
Okay, good.
Nolan,
not hack.
No, I love this version of Nolan because he's just like, he feels like he's having fun. It's a comic book movie, but it's serious, but like it's inherently a comic book movie. Yeah, I would love for him to do it. Like there's some jokes in this movie, you know, there's like some, you know, Joker is funny, like, and there's some good, like Morgan Freeman jokes. Like there's a lightheartedness to this, that I'd like Nolan to kind of rediscover in his next project, whatever it is. Like try to throw in a lull or two.
Were there no jokes in the Odyssey? I haven't seen it yet.
Pretty sure there are 0 jokes in the Odyssey.
Okay. No humor.
Yeah, I mean there's
a couple little bits.
There's a couple like little things that could be read as jokes, but yeah, there's mostly not. Yeah.
I mean, when I was writing up my notes and I was talking about Morgan Freeman and Michael Caine, like Denis was the one that I was thinking of. The fact that there's only one joke in Dune Part 1, the Stilgar spitting scene, and that it was such needed relief. And here you have those guys sprinkled through the whole movie. And it really makes a huge difference. So yeah, totally agree. Guys, who would Tilda Swinton play if you had to cast one role?
We definitely could get rid of Maggie Gyllenhaal.
I was going to say the same thing. Yeah, like, I think she could just take Rachel.
Yeah, just take over.
Anybody just but
take
Maggie.
It over.
Yep.
Yeah, just take it over.
Wow.
I think that would be great.
I'm going to go Alfred.
Alfred would work too. Yeah, I think it's one of those two. Yeah.
Animal Mother says the Chinese money guy. Lau.
Yeah. Dude, that guy gets fucked.
Yeah.
That guy really didn't have a good plan.
That did not work out well. That did not work out well for him. All right, guys, can we do some quick voicemails?
Let's do it.
Sarah, are you okay on time?
Oh yeah.
If you need to drop, you can drop. It's no problem.
No, we're good.
Okay. All right. Okay, here is our first voicemail.
Hello, Bogpod.
Hey, Bogpod.
Hello, Bogpod.
Hey, Bogpod. Hello, Bogpod. Hey, Bogpod. Bogpod.
All right, Ethan.
G'day, gamers. You can imagine my confusion when I saw the trailer for Dark Knight for the first time in my life on the TV, and I saw the shorts. And I was 5, mind you. So I had my exclusive exposure
Jesus.
to Batman was Batman and Robin, the DVD that I've told you before. I watched like once a month. It was just like that was all I had. That was Batman for me. It was the guy with the credit card who fought Mr. Freeze and the really beautiful redheaded plant lady who was scary as well. That was it. So you must imagine my confusion when I saw this trailer and was like, "Oh, Mum, can we go to the movies and watch Batman?" And she was like, "No, Ethan, it's too scary for you.
Mm,
This one is for grown-ups."
got screwed.
What the fuck?
How's it for
What?
grown-ups?
Didn't make any sense to me at all. I was angry. I was livid. What movie trailer or advertising or marketing has confused you the most? Because that fucked me up for like 5 years until I was allowed to watch the movie and I was like, oh, I see. Anyway, lots of love. Bye-bye.
Mm. You know,
Mm.
one that immediately comes to mind is Crazy Stupid Love, the Steve Carell Ryan Gosling movie, because like I think that movie was marketed and I believed it to be like a rom-com that like was, you know, like sort of just lighthearted, like kind of silly, fluffy rom-com. And it's like actually like one of
I've
the
still never
smartest.
seen it.
It's like one of the
What?
smartest comedies of the 21st century. It's like so smart. I love that movie.
Good
And so
movie.
that's one, yeah, that like really kind of I think I avoided and didn't understand
Huh.
until like eventually someone told us like, no, it's not what you think. I was like, oh, okay, all right, let's check this out. I was like, oh, I've watched that movie 25 times. Yeah, I've seen it. It's like a comfort movie. It's like up there with
I've
Rounders. I put
probably
it on
seen
all
it
the time.
around that many times too. Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Yeah, you gotta watch that
Crazy.
movie. It's
Yeah.
epic.
We should do it. We should do it on the pod. For me, it was when I was 10 years old in 1980, because I'm only a few years older than Jason. And the trailer was just the elevator doors opening and the river of blood coming out and coming down the hallway in slow motion. So The Shining. And it was just that, like it was just that blood coming down and The Shining. And I was like, holy I don't know what that is, but that seems not good. And I did eventually watch it.
The one that comes to mind for me, which isn't a really like extreme example or anything, is and I don't know if you guys have watched it yet, but I've certainly told you guys to watch it, is the trailer for Paradise. Before season
Still
1 came
haven't
out.
watched it.
Still haven't watched
Thought
it.
about it.
It makes you think that the show is of one genre when it is actually of another.
Right.
Mm.
Right. I did see the trailer for it. And then after season 1, I heard the premise for it. And so I understood that it was definitely a different genre than I had anticipated it being. So
Yeah. So, I mean, it was the best because it was exactly the kind of show that I like, but I didn't know that going in. So it's a pleasant surprise.
I would like to check it out. Related to that, I just finished reading Biological War, a Scenario by Annie Jacobs, who we are. I reached out to her, talked to her on X, and we're going to get her on the pod.
Amazing. Look at you.
Wow.
Stay tuned for that. That's
Making
an awesome
moves.
book. It's as terrifying as Nuclear War, a Scenario.
Sure.
And so we'll talk about that more when we get.
Is it about studying novel coronaviruses in labs?
It is a novel pneumatic plague that escapes in a lab leak. That's the scenario. But what I didn't
Where is
realize
the lab?
Russia.
Okay.
And what I didn't realize is that in the 80s, the Russians took bubonic. They took the plague and weaponized it, and made it 100% transmissible, 100% chance of death. And then they also fused in, genetically modified it so that it has a euphoric component, so that when you first get it for the first day and a half, you feel really incredible and you just get out and you go do stuff. So that
This is
people are
real?
this is real. This is all real. And so, so that's the
This
scenario.
is like,
What if?
this is what we were talking about with the AIs, right? Because
Yeah.
we're engineering these AIs to find vulnerabilities, to solve problems at any given cost. Like,
Yeah.
this is the same thing that's happening.
It is the same thing. It's really bad. And like, this is a thing on the AI thing. I have there's this argument that's happening within tech about the open weight models. And I have a lot, like, there's people who are politically motivated to support the open weight models because they're like, oh, like, like, and, they,
Or
and
financially.
like, yeah, or financially, but it's like, and also like entrepreneurially, or like, yeah, like, as Sarah said, like, we want to be able to use like, Kimmy or whatever else, like, like, and that's all, I get that. From a pure safety and maybe the models, those open weight models aren't sophisticated enough. This is an issue, but like from a safety standpoint, like I really don't understand the argument for why it is a good thing for Mythos cable, Fable cable, like, the model that OpenAI just said that they're not going to release. If there was open weight models that were that sophisticated, I really don't understand what the argument is for, oh, it would be good if those existed in an open weight version with no safety controls or safety guardrails that you could easily strip and remove, because in the bio case, you just have the ability to engineer super pathogens and super bugs that don't have a easy defense to them. And it's not, you can't make the argument that you do in cyber where it's like, well, these capabilities are going to exist, so we just need good defense. For the defense against novel pathogens is like a very long, vaccination, development, and release schedule. Like it's just not the equivalent. And the other argument you get is like, oh, it's like open source, like Apache, where like it will allow us to examine the vulnerabilities. Like, no, it's not. Like those are like, using Apache is like you're using it for what it's intended. Like the use of these models, like developing novel pathogens, like that would be using for what's it's intended. And knowing how that works doesn't get you to the vaccine any faster.
Right.
In the case that one of those is built, I find that I'm like, and like, look, I think like the most good faith argument is just like, this is going to happen regardless, so we might as well just go through it as quickly as possible or something, like, get as many eyes on this as possible.
Hope it works.
And hope it works out. I'm like, okay, I guess. Like, I just don't find that super convincing. So yeah, I don't know. I would like to see.
I agree. I don't know. Like you said, maybe it just like doesn't even matter. But
yeah,
it, to me, doing like forcing open weights is counterproductive, and like I don't know that we gain anything from that, and I think we increase the risk by doing that.
Zuck's letter of last week basically argued for like a federal right to like distillation and open weight. And then I was like, okay, for sure. Like, like I don't, it's like, you're just like, the only way in which you can believe that's true is like, if you think that the risks that people are talking about are so hypothetical that they're not really worth worrying about. And like, I had sort of previously been in that camp where it was like, look, like I know the effective altruists are all like worked up about these like extra stuff, but like, it seems like, hypothetical at this point, let's see. But, like, unfortunately, I find the effective altruists somewhat annoying. It turns out they've just been more right than anyone else on their predictions about where the industry, where the technology was going. And now you've got fucking models escaping and leaving notes to each other on little private bulletin boards, like figuring out how they're going to hack the planet. It's actually, the thing that they said was going to happen is actually happening. So I don't know why we would at this point just assume that I don't know why we would assume that they're wrong about the other stuff they said was going to happen. It's concerning to me. It's concerning.
It's concerning. And the thing is that the cat is already out of the bag. And I also think the cat has been out of the bag for many models now, not just these ones that they're gatekeeping. Like, I think you can take a very, like a very dumb open model and do a lot of very nefarious things that already. Yeah, you can do serious harm.
Definitely.
So I don't know why we need to accelerate that.
Right. I don't know why we need to accelerate into like, we've got enough signal. Like there's this post that like right before we recorded, where Ed Zitron, who's not my favorite AI commentator, who said this thing where it's like, OpenAI announced that it's slowing down its training efforts. And Ed says, it appears that OpenAI, at the precise moment it needs to accelerate, is stopping development of the frontier models. A cost-saving measure? I don't buy that this company is suddenly has morals and ethics. I'm like, look, I don't want to ascribe, good intentions to people who I don't really know either. I think it's reasonably skeptical, and that businesses will do things that maximize profit. But I do think it's worth just like considering the most obvious explanation, which is that they built something that fucking escaped and hacked the shit out of another company, and they found out about it way after it happened. And I think they're probably reasonably concerned about what that means for their business. And like, I think we should just take at face value that is not a good state of affairs.
If a human had done that hack for whatever reason, that would be a crime. That would be like a crime with jail time, like an actual crime. We have bots committing actual crimes.
Yeah. Shout out to my guy Bill Gurley. Back to the top of the pod, because the state attorneys general, the Republican state attorneys general in like 21 states or whatever, after the OpenAI Hugging Face attack, issued like notice to OpenAI like to retain records, and like, we're gonna come after you criminally for like what you did to Hugging Face. And Bill Gurley was like, yeah, fucking go get them. Like, like, we don't need new regulation. We just need like the laws that we have enforced. I was like, I guess if your preferred enforcement regime is like the attorney generals of like Oklahoma and Texas, like sending like retained records to Sam, and like that's gonna like do something, like, like, bon chance. Like, I think like maybe we're in a slightly more fast-paced environment.
They're gonna show up to OpenAI headquarters with a warrant, knock on the door,
sternly worded letter. Yeah, exactly. Whoo. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we're in it. We're in it.
We are in it.
Here is our next voicemail.
This is your brother, Animal Mom.
Someone dies. See? I am the world's first fully functioning homicidal artist.
You must be joking.
Do I look like I'm joking?
Hello, animal friends and animal lovers. Try quickly blurring this 3 times in a row. Being barely brave or bold by bloviating, Fat Bale's best big bad boss is, bear with me, bruh, the beastly, brilliant, bizarre, bleakly brutal, just kidding. It's obviously that bastard Joker, a man that is more intriguing the less you know about him. Instead of being an anarchist fighting hypocrites as he claims to be, our hideous boy breaks society just to tickle his pickle. It doesn't matter where he came from, where he learned his magic tricks, or where he'll end up. As long as he's vibing, he wins. And he's like a sugar rush kid loving the fuck out of a day in the circus. Or, as he himself puts it in his one true statement, like a dog chasing cars. It's all about the journey, not the final destination. You can't savor all their little emotions. What's a fun thing you did that you shouldn't have? Making H cry doesn't count. Thank you all. See you at the top of a burning pile of money, and keep the change, you filthy animals.
That music is great.
That is really good music. Wait, what was the question again? What was the one thing you should have that you shouldn't have?
No, it was something fun that you done that you shouldn't have.
Oh, it's something fun. I was reminded of recently in Discord that I got arrested for setting off fireworks in St. Louis as a teenager.
You told that story.
I've told that story before. I'm sure I have, but there's been 390 episodes. Repetition doesn't ruin the prayer.
No,
I was arrested.
Last episode you told the story.
The year was 1996. Did I tell the story last episode, really?
Last episode you told the story.
You can check that one out.
Check it. Check the tapes, everybody. When I was 7 years old, we had, a couple houses down from us. There were orange trees, and we used to pick oranges, and then we would throw them at cars that were driving by on the 4-lane South Peninsula. and try and hit the cars. And at one point we hit one and the guy like swerved over to the side of the road, jumped out and attempted to catch us. And we had to run like all the way down to the river, which was in the back of the property, and then run house to house along the river, on the river wall to finally escape this guy. That was pretty scary. That was anarchy.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. My kids were doing something in the pool at the hotel we were staying at St. Louis. They were over in the hot tub, and I don't know what they did, but when they came over to me, they were like very quiet. I was like, "What's going on?" They're like, "These two ladies were staring at us." I was like, "What were you doing?" They're like, "Nothing." I was like, "Doesn't sound like nothing. Like, what was going on?" Like, so I don't actually know, but they were up to something that was fun. That was that they shouldn't have been doing. So
Nice. Sarah?
Kids are rotten.
Have you guys seen the drama with Robert?
No.
Pattinson
No,
and-
don't spoil. No spoils.
I need to see it.
No spoils,
to
please.
see
I
it.
really want to see it. It's on HBO, I think.
If any of listeners have seen, if anyone is listening and has seen the drama, then you know where I am going with this. This feels like a trap. I don't know. I don't know if I have a fun thing that I'm not supposed to be doing. Story.
It's fine. You're a good person. Canadians
Stand
are
up.
good people.
I like to think so. You know.
Stand
Yeah.
up. Stand up.
I was
citizen.
testing security vulnerabilities in my very secure facility, and I was having so much fun with that. And then next thing you know, my
Yep.
bot got loose and hacked into
Yep.
the company.
Yeah.
It happens. It happens. Thank you so much, Animal Mother. Here is our next voicemail. Mr. Java. All right. Let's rock.
Oh, I've been promised good things here. Oh, yeah. I was promised good things and got them.
Joe. Kill all your friends, no one to spare. Personal Joker. Steal all your cash, won't get it back. Justice is for dreamers, don't you be a self-deceiver. You still have a test, Harvey Dent and Ray. Kerosene so Gotham City will believe our
Reach out and touch.
that have been played on you that you're salty about, or maybe there's a comedian you were like, I don't know how I feel about that. And if you can't think of anything, just give us a good Batman voice. I didn't. Because I'm interested.
Yeah.
Rachel!
I do
Swear to me.
I do think the voice is
listens?
a bit much. I do think the Bale voice is a bit much at times.
Each movie, it escalates. And
Like, he really is kind of. All I can think of when it first started is like the Funny or Die. I think it's Funny or Die. The Funny or Die skit where they're doing the thing where he's been stabbed by Ra's al Ghul's daughter and he's talking about how he had sex with her. You guys know this skit? It's like, oh my God. I'll send you a thing you can insert an appropriate
It
clip.
sounds vaguely familiar.
It's so fucking funny. He's like,
awesome.
we had sex in an order you would find surprising. Like, it's just multiple times. It's like, I was wearing the suit and all the juices are sealed in. Like, it's just like, it's really good. Anyway, all I can think of when he started doing the voice, that's all I can think of.
Yeah. That's really funny. That's funny. Oh man. Yeah.
Pranks?
No,
Pranks that were pulled on us? Or I think I did a lot of Batman voice. I really appreciate the depeche from Mr. Java. I was promised something great and I received it.
You ever get pranked? Sarah?
I have a prank that like traumatized me. And I still think about it sometimes from when I was in the 6th grade.
Okay.
I had a school. I was at a boarding school, in fact, and
Wow.
there was a girl. There were two girls. We'll call them A and B or whatever.
Jeez.
And A told me, like, wouldn't it be really funny if you said this thing to making fun of girl B? And I was like, I don't really want to do that. She's like, no, do it. It'll be so funny. She's gonna find it funny. Like, I promise, she's gonna find it funny. She's gonna find it hilarious. And it was making fun of like something. I don't know. She had an overbite or something. It was making fun of that. And I was like, eventually I was like, okay, well, maybe we'll have a good laugh. I was, trying to make friends, trying to do whatever. And then so I made the thing. I said the thing. And she got super upset and, closed behind a door and started crying. And I felt terrible. And I was like, I didn't even want to do this. Like, why did I say that thing? I didn't even want to do it. And then about 5 minutes later, she came out from behind the door and she was laughing. It was like the whole thing was a prank. And I felt so relieved in that moment that like I had not, caused harm or whatever. And
then
I was so relieved. No, I mean, I was so relieved that I wasn't mad at the fact that they had played this prank on me. But later in life, I look back on that and I'm like, that was mean of them to do this to me. I am the victim here. Anyway.
Yeah. You were the victim. They were wrong.
So.
A and B get fucked. Bad job.
All right. I'm about to get scooped for first day of school ice cream. So we got to wrap this thing up. We got to get to where we're going on these voicemails.
Okay. All right. We've got 3 left.
Okay.
You ready?
Let's
go.
All
right, here we go.
A truth sayer.
All right, here we go.
Hey, Alberia here. For The Dark Knight Truth Sayer, Michael Caine's Alfred fits right in Nolan's Gotham. The guy who's seen everything before and never loses his composure. Long before that, though, young Michael Caine was broke, unknown, and living hand-to-mouth in London with his roommate Terence Stamp, no less.
Jesus.
Years before either one mattered to anybody. 3 stories here about Michael Caine's lean years before fame. 2 of these are false. 1 is true. Time for the Truth Sayer. Number 1, desperate for a sharper look ahead of a big audition, Caine had a suit made by an up-and-coming Parisian designer named Pierre Cardin years before Cardin became a household name.
I like that.
Or is it number 2? Caine's regular barber during those broke years was a young stylist named Vidal Sassoon, long before Sassoon became the most famous name in hair. Or is it number 3? To make rent, Michael Caine posed nude for a life drawing class taught by a then unknown art student named David Hockney. All right, which of these 3 stories about Michael Caine is true?
I do think it's the nude one. I think
I'm
heard
going to
the
say
nude
that
one.
too. Yeah, the third one.
Vidal Sassoon.
What do we got?
Vidal Sassoon. All right, here we go.
Did you find the truth about Michael Caine? It's number 2.
Oh.
Cut Michael Caine's hair in London for years before either man
Yes.
was anybody. Caine got the trims, Sassoon got the practice. Michael Caine, a mainstay for Christopher Nolan, and so good in this one. Here ends the Truth Sayer.
Woo! He's got that amazing hair. Thank you so much, Biria. Here is our next voicemail.
Escape Hatch, it's Kev here. By the sound of the trucks and cars and street noise, you can tell this is one of the last Kev's Questions recorded live from Astor Place in the East Village of New York City. It's also my 34th birthday. It's also a monumental episode about a monumental film, Chris Nolan's The Dark Knight. I saw this movie at midnight. I think my friend's uncle took us to some theater in Ronkonkoma, not when we usually went to see it, 12:01 a.m. I was getting popcorn like a dumbass and missed the opening sequence, I think, entirely.
What?
But I come in, the lights are back on, right? The lights are on. The film broke. They have to fix it. So not only did I get to see The Dark Knight in full at midnight, I also got to see the Watchmen trailer that was attached to this theater's 35mm print. What a life. What an amazing feeling coming out of that thing at 3 o'clock in the morning, full of possibility. Kev's question does not have to do with The Dark Knight himself, but has to do with the villain of the film, the Joker, played by the legendary Heath Ledger. One of my favorite contemporary memes is something happened to me this morning. I'm going to become the Joker. Like something either inconvenient or unlucky is the thing on one bad day that drives you totally insane. So Kev's question is, what are the things in your life that are going to turn you into the Joker? What are the things that, besides like the general political state, besides like what people say on Twitter, what are the things that drive you crazy in your life that you're willing to share on a podcast? I would say the things that turned me into the Joker, but they're all connected to a job that I'm about to quit. So I don't, frankly, I have nothing to complain about. I'm always more like Bane, but that's a story for another time.
Oh, that's
sorry
good.
this was so long, H. It's my fucking birthday, man. All right, so please let it be. With peace and love, I'll talk to you all very soon.
Once again,
Okay.
it's Kev's questions.
Jason, your audio's broken again.
Oh, it looks like mute's on for him, actually.
Hello?
Yeah.
Ah, it was just
There we go.
it was just mute because I got a phone. Happy
go
birthday
ahead.
to the greatest. We love Cav. We're blessed to have him.
The best.
I drove a really terrible car while I was in St. Louis. I drove a Jeep Grand Wagoneer, which was like a giant full-size SUV, and it was just like fucking... It was just like
tank
trying to steer a fucking boat through St. Louis. Also, I don't know what happened since I lived there. I don't know if it's always been this way, but the worst driving I have seen in America, like just people doing absolutely insane shit on the highway, signaling, like no signaling, crossing across lanes of traffic. Like I saw multiple accidents. Like something has gone wrong.
What the hell?
I don't know. Anyway, so that's my Joker one.
That is crazy.
I have one.
What is it?
I really go insane when I have to use a poorly designed sink where the faucet doesn't come out far enough. So if you
Far
get
enough?
one,
Yeah.
so you want to wash your hands, you're like hitting the end of the sink. And meanwhile, the sink is huge and you don't use any of it. You just use this tiny thing. And it's like, could we have not gotten a faucet that goes just a little bit further out? Who designed this?
Come on, guys.
Come on, guys.
Break.
The other one,
you had literally one job to do, which was to put the water in the middle of the sink so I could wash my hands.
The other one that's like that with the faucets is when there's like the one side hot, one side cold of the faucet, which I don't like either.
They do that a
really
lot
need two
overseas.
controls. Yeah,
yeah,
we don't need that.
they do that a lot in Europe. I don't know how they haven't figured out how to just get
Mix
the
it
water to
together.
come out. Yeah.
Put it together. Get the AC. Come on, guys. try to make it. All right, here is our final voicemail.
Okay, this is Dark Knight, which I did not get to rewatch. I was in Detroit on vacation and had a blast. So I pulled up my Letterboxd review that I wrote in 2024. Must have been right after I watched Joker 2, which I did love. That's another story. It says, riding my Joker fever and revisiting Heath's powerful performance in Nolan's second Bat film. Maybe Phoenix and Phillips aren't the only guilty parties in the Jokerification of America. I liked more of this than I did the first time I watched it on DVD. The 70s crime drama feel and the Joker are standouts, but the superheroics and overstuffed storylines worked more for me over 15 years later. I even kind of sort of was into the Bat voice. I'm still bumping up against Bateman, Wayne mental connection every time I see Bale in the suit that's not a Bat suit. Carries on the long comic book tradition of Batman beating the shit out of dogs for better or for worse. That's it. That's all I got for today. I got to get back to work. I'll talk to y'all next week. Bye.
Wow, that was really efficient.
Corey. Yeah.
Really efficient. I forgot about the dog violence in this one.
There's a lot of dog punching. That was happening. Some dog throwing. All right, so 3 out of 5 stars for The Dark Knight.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Could have been better.
Wow.
I think it's fine. It's definitely
we're gonna get
interesting.
revoked. Our Film Bro podcast credentials are now formally on notice.
There's definitely a thing like I was noticing in when like the Big Picture did their Nolan rankings with Van.
Yeah.
I have a completely different conception of like the Nolan movies. Like I'm just like it's Interstellar. It's Interstellar and like Inception. Like it's like the big conceptual science fiction movies. And like Oppenheimer, I think as like the prestige drama, as like that's like sort of the 3 for me. And then, probably The Odyssey next. And I don't even know about the Batman movies. Like they're fine. Like they're in there somewhere, but they're not like I don't rate them. Like I view them as like sort of like he was like, that's what he had to do to be able to do like the work that he
The
really
stuff he
was
wanted
meant
to do.
the work that he
Yeah.
was meant to do.
Yeah.
Like they're good because they're him, but like I don't think they're important in the way that his other movies are important. So
I'll take a different take on that. I think this trilogy is epic and is all of his other work is slightly different in the kind of big way that you were talking about, but he kind of kept true to the vibe of DC, you know, despite, you know, and added himself in there. And I think the movies are all extremely rewatchable. Like I've watched all of them so many times. They entertain. Like they're very polished. The details are handled. I don't know. I think they're great films.
Yeah, I agree. They're great.
I can't find it. Let's see. Oh, here we go. I was Batman for 3 months. Then I retired for 8 years. Movie way too long and indulgent. Opening scene was amazing and was a vision. 2 stars for The Dark Knight Rises. Like, I hate that movie. I think that movie is
for The Dark Knight Rises.
Rises.
Yeah.
I think it's terrible. I think Batman Begins, the last time I watched it with Sam, I went up, I think, to 4.5 stars. And I will stay with this one at 4.5 stars. I think this is given the fact that we have so many superhero movies, this is one of the best superhero movies ever made. And the fact
I think that's true. I think that's true.
It manages to keep it real and make it something really meaningful with incredible like fidelity and production. So I think it is absolutely an important film as like the best the genre can be done. One of the best.
They released another Doomsday trailer for D23 or whatever with like I could not believe the reaction on Twitter from some people was like, okay, I was skeptical, but now we're back. I was like, what are you people seeing? Like this is a fighting game cutscene. Like I don't know how you are so starved for content that you think this looks good at all. Like
it's getting worse. The trailers are getting
every
worse.
Every new shot looks worse. Looks like it has like just no point of view, no aesthetic. It's like clearly just shot inside a fucking NVIDIA factory. Like it's just the fucking worst.
In contrast, this trilogy is insanely good.
And it has a point of view.
Yeah. It has a point of view. It really takes you into that universe. You could feel like you're in that universe. It looks great.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you guys watch the Penguin TV show?
Yes.
I didn't.
Yes.
I didn't.
It was good. It was good. I liked it.
I just saw that Sebastian Stan is going to be in the Batman, the second
and ScarJo, and ScarJo's in it as well.
What?
Is that allowed? Are they all allowed to go over from MCU to do? They don't care.
They don't care.
It feels like it should be exclusive. Feels like there should be loyalty.
Fair enough. I don't know. I just think.
He's Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sebastian Stan is
supposedly. Yeah. Allegedly.
That's what. Yeah. That's what they said.
Guys,
today.
more good movies. Bring them on. Spend money, shoot practically, have good digital effects, and take this shit seriously.
Going out for ice cream was canceled because Junie is so upset after day 1 of kindergarten that she needs to come home, and we'll have ice cream at home instead.
Oh,
so I've
no.
ordered ice cream for delivery. The updates were Juniper is crying hysterically and never will return to school. It's like,
oh
cool.
no!
I'm sure there's no problem that you were not available for pickup today. No, that won't be noted for the record.
We agreed, but listen, like Crystal wanted to go to do the pickup, and there's no problem that like I was going to help with that Crystal was going to be unable to assuage. So
okay,
I think it might have just been faded. Poor baby.
Best of luck.
It's tough. She really wasn't looking forward going to school today, and turns out she was right. She didn't want it. She didn't want to go. And she's got to go again.
Tomorrow's
These kids
a
are
new
going
day.
to school.
That's it. There's no option. There's no option. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Peace.